Thank you, Macarena. I'm welcome everybody. Good morning again. I'm Noe, and we're gonna have another session. Will be for our analysis of how to create reports in Business Central. Also, this is applicable for NIV 2018. And let's just jump into the actual presentation. The idea of today's webinar is that we're going to review what we can do with those reports. Some of them for your invoices, to add the logo, text, maybe to send emails, or well, we have different reports, and we are going to be learning what is the idea behind the usage of this. So the idea is that we sometimes need to customize document layouts and reports in Business Central. This is literally a type of report that we are going to manage through Word, and we're going to see what will be the difference through the previous technology. So the idea is that we can manage our reports and documents. We can create them or modify them, the ones that we currently have, and implement different reports. So you can have different settings, like use specific invoices for different companies if you want it, if you have them, or just verify that the layout that you can actually now customize, well, see the tools and verify, import them, and see what to do with those reports in the menus, etc. So first of all, we have in Business Central these documents, facing documents for the company Kronos. And for us, a report as well is in this example, in this instance, printed in PDF, okay, but as well could be Word. So these two formats are the initial. In this area, we are not going to be focusing. We have reports that could be generated to Excel, like a balance sheet or financial reports. But in this example, what we're going to be checking more will be these documents that we use to send maybe to vendors, like your invoices or receipts in the warehouse and all those type of documents. So let's just explain a little bit. Report layout controls content and format of the report, including which fields of a report data set appear on the report and how the fields are arranged, which font is used, and which images are included. From Business Central, you can change which layout is used on a report, create a new layout, or modify existing layouts. So one thing is you can fully customize the layouts and reports to fit your own requirements. Second, a report layout sets up the following: the label and the data fields to include from the data set of the Business Central report. This means that, well, a data set is just basically because all the tables that we have in Business Central, well, we could just recall and specify which fields we're about to use. But a data set includes maybe the information, if it's going to be for the sales report, sales invoice, well, all the information pertinent to a sales order. It's not that we just recall any type of table or anything. And that's then part of a data set. Then the text formats such as font type, size, and color, the company logo and its position, and general page settings such as margins and background images. So basically what you can do in Word, let's say, a report can be set up with multiple report layouts where you can switch among as required. And you can use one of the built-in reports layout, or you can create custom report layouts and assign them to your report as needed. Then there are two types of report layouts that you can use on reports. Microsoft Word, this will be the one of the files or the file type that we use. RDLC, Report Definition Language Client Side. This is a report on SQL, and we're going to start, well, with a comparison of the two reports. And then a report layout can be based on either a Word document or an RDLC file. Deciding whether to use Word or RDLC report layout type will depend on how you want the report to be generated to look at your knowledge of Word and SQL Server Report Builder. So first, here we have a comparison between the two type of reports, including the same information actually. And the basic difference, we can see first the Word type document, and the second will be done in a report builder or RDLC in SQL. They basically have one main difference, that we can use formatting tools in Word, typical formatting tools with colors, font, size, center, etc. And in the right for SQL or report builder, it doesn't mean that it's not a good tool. It just that as well require sufficient experience from a technical person, or the technical department would be in charge of creating these layouts. But as well, they don't have this type of formatting tools, and it's more difficult. It's easier to prepare as well reports, this type of reports in Word, by the way. So that's why we are actually verifying which one would be better to use, and as well, we are going to be creating some examples so you can see how it looks inside the report. And well, just to mention it, some reports as well will require a more analysis other than simple reports like an invoice. Well, looks easy to create, but as well, we are presenting just how to use the tools, which one are better now with, well, new options to use this type of reports and to create your ideas. How it works? Well, in Business Central, we have some built-in reports, either Word or RDLC. The main difference, as we mentioned, is that the way you modify the layouts. So Word reports layouts are typically easier to create and modify than RDLC reports layout, because you can use Word basically. RDLC report layouts are modified by using SQL Server Report Builder, which is intended for more advanced users. And second, Business Central includes several built-in layouts, so you can use them. Built-in layouts are predefined layouts are designed for specific reports. Business Central reports will have a built-in layout as either an RDLC report layout, Word, or in some cases both. You cannot modify a built-in report layout from Business Central, but you can use them as a starting point for building your own custom report layouts. This means that even though Business Central has some reports for your invoices already, receipts, etc., if you want to create yours, you're not going to be using the original report. We are going to copy this built-in report provided when we implement Business Central, and we copy it, and we then can edit and change the name of the actual original report in order to then starting using our own designs. So once again, the idea is that we have a data set pertinent to the document we want to use. And then we add some reports regarding the data sets have currently one built-in Word and RDLC report to be generated as the original report that we get. Every time we just print a document, and we can see that we already get one report. Sometimes it's just RDLC, which means that doesn't have a special format or color, it's just the text there. Some other times we can have, and especially for Business Central, some other type of reports that include more design features. And then, well, the idea is that those built-in reports will be copied, and then we are going to generate our own layouts. Okay. So both in what could be RDLC or Word document, and you can use any of them, but we are going to be using first this function. That's the way we normally work. So let's just verify. When you select one of your reports, you're going to get this information. It will be our template, our file actually, where you can actually verify your format immediately. This is how I created the previous example, and including first of all a label, a company logo, a content control for data field, and then the tables that I want to use. This is because related, for instance, for an invoice, we have the sales header, the sales line as well, and the customer information just as a part of our data set that we can include. And then you can, let's say, format your page and start including the fields that you need. So at this point, that will be more or less the idea of the word design. Here you can use now your formatting tools with colors, fonts, etc. And this is well how we get to the final result. And then the RDLC design is more complex, just to mention it. As well, we get the same information: the company logo, label fields, the content control for data field, and the tables. Now, the difference, of course, is that we don't have the formatting here, the color, and as well, we would need to verify, well, if the layout, at least with the tool, with the tools we have here, well, we have a functional report. That's the idea, and it was used for so many years. But now, well, we can just change and use the advantages of Word. So that's more or less the presentation of how we actually design behind the scene any report. And then what we do is when we go back to Business Central, we have a list of reports. Okay, you can access by checking the report layout selection. The report layout selection is where we have all the built-in and copied reports that you have available in your company. So it's a good idea just to verify first. I'm sorry. Just to verify first the information that we have available, look for the reports, for instance, the receivables, the payables, say in finance, a chart of accounts, any type of report that you generate, you can find it here. Look for it and verify if it's our DLC or Word, just to begin, and to try to maybe make some exercises. Let's just explain how then we're gonna be doing this. First of all, in the report layout selection, in my example, for the company Kronos USA, I selected one of the reports that is, all of them have an ID. In my example for the invoice, we have the 1306, which is the sales invoice. Then every report is or might be related to custom layouts that we have design. They have different colors or layouts and so on. We can see it how they look without actually having to do any complexity. Just immediately from the list open, start comparing them. Every report that you have customized for your sales invoice, and you can define which one will be the one that your company will be used. And we are going to be selecting and importing as well different reports for our documents. As an example, to have different templates, let's say. So that's one of the things. So you can leave it there if you want to leave a report there that you don't want to use, but maybe have few new ideas or requirements. You can just import new fields, new reports, I mean, and you don't have to, let's say, the collection of reports could remain here. And in this example, this is what I'm showing. For the sales invoice, in the right side, I have my custom layouts. And if you can see, I have the blue simple, the default that was actually common. And one is very funny, a default email. So whenever we send an invoice through email to a customer, I also could include text, automated text. And well, so that's part of the process we normally do. And then we just can select. Here I have the same report in the custom report layouts page. Here I have all the different variations of the same report that I have for my sales invoice. I just wanted to show you this part because when you actually start working, you might actually have already some of them or other examples that you have worked in the past, and you can just complete your collection of reports or just start creating from scratch. Now, that's the customer layout selection. And the first thing that we do whenever we start working, we open a report, we verify our custom report layouts, and then at the end, we just use the function copy, okay, the original one. And then whenever we do that for the first time, we're gonna have the copy, well, in the description of the report, copy of the name of the original report. Just to know that we have the same report, but that is just a copy because the copy is the one that we're gonna use to make our new design or to practice as an example. Okay, so now let's just jump into the functionality and present a demo in Business Central of how do actually we work. This presentation is going to be shorter. Maybe we're going to be finished by in 20 minutes, 30 minutes at most. Sorry. So if I just open for now Business Central, there you go. I just need to verify what will be the reports that we get by verifying the report layout selection. Here we're gonna get all the reports that we currently have as an example. Let's just open it. Very good. Okay, this is what I was trying to explain. First, let's say that we have the trial balance. Okay, this is very standard report, and here we have the selected layout that we have for this. Is currently our RDLZ built-in report. Also, the selected layout could be Word, built-in, or custom layout. Okay, whenever we want to apply, as you can see here, all of them are built-in reports for me. Whenever we want to insert a new report, well, we just need to specify that we want the custom layout option. And from here, the layout description as well, we're gonna get the report associated, in this example, an RDLC customer top 10 list report to actually include it here by just preparing this layout. For instance, we can just run it here or preview it, let's say. And all the list of the different reports that you have should be here at this point. Okay, so look at this. We have here the simple list with formatting, basic formatting, but here as well we have a chart. Okay, a chart that was just completed in order to follow up the actual figures that we have here in the sales and balance columns. Okay, so it's the customer top 10 list. Well, so the idea now is that whenever we want to verify a report, look at your custom layouts. In this case, for the customer top 10 list, we don't have any collection of custom layouts as an example. To make an example of that type of report, we might need to verify, but here you need to check if you have in any moment any custom reports. Well, might appear just immediately there for any report that you want. So if I just, for instance, look for my sales invoice that I was just trying to explain here, I have different layouts that I actually did, but this will be different designs that I would present. So for every report that you will be creating, and whenever you need to send to a customer, at least just try to create, and we're gonna show it, an email body as well. So when a customer receives this invoice, they're gonna get an actual template with the text of the email, and then the actual report as an attachment. So that will be more or less. So it's about creating your charts, it's about creating your information, and the functionality also allow us to print it immediately, preview it, or send it as an attachment to a specific email. So it depends of the function and the area where you're going to be using the actual report. Okay, so after that, I would need to just jumping into the different places where you're gonna be finding your reports. We as well have the custom report layouts page. Well, all the reports that I have been doing, right? So will be just here in this list, custom report layout. I have the draft invoice, many type of options for me that I have created. Sales quotes, sales confirmation, for instance, the US sales order blue, and we have a default email body, right? So I could just verify the sales confirmation by running the report. Oh, this needs another feature for me to be completed. And here, well, all these functions will be you are going to be verifying first your built-in reports and then later your custom reports that you have actually created. So here we have the copy function as well. So if you want to copy any of these reports and you click on copy, you're going to have the new line with the description telling you that you have copied one original report. Then you can edit and change the text and do anything that you need for that specific report. Then if you want as well, first of all, we do is, for instance, exporting a layout, okay? Because that's what we're gonna need in order to actually work. So for me, if I just export any of these reports, I have the sales invoice. And if I just immediately open it, okay, I have a quite a basic report with no advanced features except for my payment service text. This is something that we have for integration with PayPal. Okay, and as well, here we have, well, just the basic information for the fields, the totals, and well, here I will include in the lines, right? How then do we start working with this? First of all, open your document and go to the developer section. If you don't know how to include it, please go to your options in your options features to include the developer tab. And once you get that, specifically for our reports, we just need the XML mapping pane. So the XML mapping pane is going to now connect our data set from Business Central. Office tools are 100% integrated with Business Central, so we can make some additions in this case and get the data set for this report by just verifying the XML mapping. And well, here we have we're gonna have different schemas that we are actually from the web services just consuming this information. Normally at the end, you're gonna get the actual link to get the dataset connection to Business Central for the look at the sales invoice 1306. So once we get that, then we're gonna be able to see all the dataset that we have prepared for this type of report. Okay, so let's say that I would like to include the order number. I don't see the order that generated this report. Okay, here is order number. So the idea is that you're gonna be able to insert, let's say, the header. Okay, you at this point you would need just to verify that you get the actual layout. First, include your colors in a table. You can insert, for instance, a table in this area. Let me just start creating some other type of information. And I would insert this, well, this will be rich text. So we get in this section the order number. Okay, so I would include different information in different areas. The order date. Okay, and in different sections, I would be playing around with it while I get to use it. You require some hours of work to actually perform and create good reports. Okay, so you could, like I was saying, insert your preferred layouts, colors, etc., or a table like I'm including just right now, and start searching your data set, the information that you have here as well. This is just a webinar, but if you require, we can provide some specific training so you can design your own reports. Well, I'm just inserting at this point some fields, but we have as well picture insertion, checkboxes, combos, drop-down lists. Let's say sort of dynamic reports, okay? But this is not at the end, this is going to be a printable. The easiest type of report that we get to learn is a printable report with the information that you have generated from a previous document or a source document. So once we get into the actual design, however we want it, and well, this was just a simple report where I have included a table, so it's not important at this point to mention how it would look. But the thing is that we're going to be importing all our reports this way, right? Until, well, the difficult part at this point will be how to, well, design, move fields up and down. And well, you need to work with the Word a little, verify that your report start to look better. And then you're just what we do here in Business Central is that we import or export our layouts. So whenever you create a new one, you can, well, either selecting one of the lines and click update to just, if you have maybe moved a field, you have just deleted a line or something, well, update your layout. But if it's completely brand new, import it, well, export it first, design it if you want to use a copy, or then just import the layout in order to list any report that you create in the custom report layout list. Okay, this is what we need in first place. The second thing, just to let me show you report selection. At some point, once you finish the basic design, you can check the report selection that you have, of course, for the company. But now every different module, of course, will have one type of reports or different report definitions that we have. So let's just, for instance, talk about the sales type of reports, okay? You look for the report selection option and tell me what to do function, and then you're gonna get the search by Business Central for all the report selections for every module that you have. Okay, what happened inside every module for every report we create? First of all, we have in the report selection window for sales, all the type of documents that are currently functional without customization in the actual sales module. So we have the quote, the blanket order, and so on. So everything, in my case, I even have work orders because, well, at this point, you might be working with services. Sometimes I like to customize all my reports in my modules, because if you normally you will see that all of them are just having plain text, let's say, and well, many of them have the logo, some of the other no, but well, verify first of all the type of document that you want to actually work and use at this point. Now, for me, I have the US sales invoice default email body, but that's my selection. So for the invoice, you need to at this moment verify from the custom reports that I showed you before. Well, all the type of different documents that I have here are because, well, I normally like to verify for different demos, for different companies that have different well options. So well, I normally create different type of reports. Let's just verify some of them if you need them. And I could share this type of reports with you if you like them. There's no problem. So let's just verify the blue type of invoice. Okay. And I was speaking about, well, we have all the formatting with the blue colors, the headers, your logo is here. And then also I included in the line section, well, some lines that are very, very useful for me to separate. As you continue to insert fields and different lines with different information, they tend to be sometimes mixed, or the information is not centered, okay? For instance, sometimes I had to include these lines as a table. I included this as a regular word table and start inserting just the fields that I wanted. And the same goes for the top part. This is just word, plain text, but here I just drag, well, included the sales order number, just like I did before for the sales order is here, and I just included a table. But for me, this report included, well, I worked like 2 hours or a little bit more in order just to get this simple report. Okay, it's not too fancy, it's not too complicated, but the differentiation for me is the colors, basically. And here, well, I have the PayPal integration. Well, this is just a test invoice, but we can insert as well sometimes if you need it now here, for instance, some links where I have my PayPal account. just as an example from where I have just opened my actual account, because now in new Business Central functionality, you can receive payments and we can integrate the functions to update your accounts in Business Central once you receive a payment in PayPal. Good. So, well, just to mention it, just the last part are just regular fields that I just included to actually send it to an email. So if I just continue verifying the information here, let's just verify another design very fast, email body. I believe that this webinar is more about design than any other, all right, more than just only understanding what it can do or the menus, right? So as well, let's just verify the body of an email, this is quite fancy. Actually, I just created here a text inside a text field. Okay, so you can insert also comments with different colors, and well, sometimes the company name, the customer name, well, that's part of my data set. All of this is just, well, basically my data set that I have. And sometimes I do other type of advanced processes that, look at this, if we receive
Hi guys, I think Noe has some problems with the connection, so please just hang out a little bit. We're trying to reconnect and we'll let you know in a few.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I'm in a hotel, and at this point, I'm not owner of what is going on in the with the internet connection. So excuse me for the delay. I'm here again. Okay, I was just presenting some of my ideas. Okay, so we have the information for the sales report. We get the email body, but I don't want to use the email body for this, but the blue or the US sales modern design. Okay. So the idea is that I have one report for the sales invoice, and we are going to use some reports for email body and another for attachment. So this other type of, this is the type of reports I was talking about when we can, when I say that we can generate these, with these tools, this type of reports. Now, just to finalize, well, every module should have a report for the different options that you have. For the different type of documents, that's why I was speaking. We need for sales, warehouses, inventory, purchase. So you can just go inside and start investigating what documents are actually needed for your functions. But just to finalize my part for today, let's say that we get the sales invoices, posted sales invoices. Okay, part of the functions that or the reports that I prepare for our webinar. Well, with all the different options, the idea is that at some point we can just, for instance, print that or use now these reports, let's say, according to the function in this area, we're gonna get an email and an invoice to be just attached to the actual, when we send it to an email. So we can use and print it immediately. I'm just going to select no, just to present in the screen and just email or prompt for the email settings. And here we are going to say that we are going to include an attachment that will be a PDF. Okay. Now I'm going to click on yes. And the idea of the reports and how Business Central will be used will be just like this. As an example, I have included the email Outlook integration. And here, what I'm going to see is the actual text, right, that I have for this type of email. Okay. Actually, this is a document, but you could integrate just simple text. Okay. But the idea is that you get the actual report from your Word layout. Okay. And I have included here just as an attachment as well. Here I have an attachment and you can send the email. So let's just verify the design, one of the last designs. And here, well, I have my invoice currently with just the actual information that I presented before, right? But now that is included with an email that you could use a body, and you could edit here in the same window, recreate the attachment that will be used as a report, and well, just send it immediately. So these are the type of functions that we will be using. So the idea is that you find your reports, and like I mentioned, just the difficult part for now would be how to actually design in Word. That will require some hours of practice and showing you some tools from our experience, our people that used to actually design everything in RDLC previously before. And now in Word is much more easier. Even a functional user could learn how to prepare some ideas or some of the reports. So of course, it's not a problem anymore to design this type of ideas. And then later, well, for other type of advanced reporting processes like BI, where we require calculations or other stuff, we have other tools specifically for that type of the reports. For today, Word and RDLC reports. For instance, I learned by myself all this area at the beginning, and then later when I wanted to include more like charts or not only charts, but special tables that are going to give me or insert links that are going to lead to give me the possibility to open pages, maybe the website, maybe and so on. Well, I just started preparing and subscribe myself for some these design webinars that I had in the past. And well, in a matter of 1 month at most, I was already fully prepared to actually complete my reports for my company, and without having to touch RDLC anymore, just Word, and it looks good and it is functional and it looks better than the previous technologies. So that will be it for today. So if you need if you have any further question, if you want to receive more information about how to prepare reports, well, please contact me. This was just a short webinar for today. You can contact me at noe.wellman@optimus.guru if you have a question or you want to tell me about some ideas. If maybe we can make just a design presentation without having to teach the menus or where the reports are, and we can just focus on the design of the reports if you need it. Okay, so that will be it for today. Thank you very much for your time and see you next week.